Oh, fucking bitch.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shayed, and you are?
Rebecca Ann Brickman.
Ms. Brakeman, I have a citation here dated February the 11th. Wasn't filed till today, though. Charging you with alleged to have occurred, looks like between January 28th and February the 11th. We'll appoint Peter Gutierrez to represent you on these charges. Your next court date will be at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Bond will be $500, cash or secured. You're not to have any contact with Mary Lawson, and you're not to go near her residence or workplace. Right? Thank you.
Thank you. Uh,
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Marcoto.
Mr. Cody, I have an inner complaint charging you with theft. Alleged to have occurred on September the 13th, along with earlier dates going back to August 5th of 2023. We'll appoint the legal defender's office to represent you on these charges, and if either counsel wish to be heard on conditions. And I'm using the 18th or the 21st. Or actually, look, Yeah. I need you to look back, though. He was seen this morning on other matters. No, he was seen on other charges, so he's already got a PH date coming up. So let's use the same date. Kota.
Judge, the state has no further information for the court. Judge, we'd be asking for a much lower bond than the 15,000. As you noted, he was seen earlier today on 2 other matters and got $5,000 bonds on each of those. This is considered a non-violent offense. He does have support and housing with his girlfriend if he were to bond out. And it looks like he was successful on probation previously in 2021. So we're asking for a much lower bond than the 15,000.
Okay, then I'll set this for the 21st as well. All right, preliminary hearing date will be July 21st at 1:30, along with your other matters. Bond will be $10,000. Cash is secured. Pretrial services. If you post that bond, you're not to return to the incident locations. That is any Ulta Beauty stores or other cosmetics or beauty stores. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And I'd suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you, Mr. Cota. Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Gutierrez.
Mr. Gutierrez. I've got a couple of things for you, and the concern that's been expressed to me is that you've been released from custody before and haven't shown up in court.
So, accident I had at work.
What was that?
That was an accident I had at work. Matter of court.
You understand you have to come to court when you've got a court date.
Promise I'll be there.
All right, I will give you another chance.
Amen.
On this suspended license charge, your court date is going to be July the 18th at 8:30 in the morning in Pima County Justice Court. You're not to drive without a valid license. Do you understand it? I have new charges from today. I have charges sitting in the park after hours and resisting arrest. We'll enter your not guilty plea. Court on this matter is in the Tucson City Court. That'll be August the 11th at 2:30 in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court. You are not to go back to the park. Do you understand that?
Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez.
Thank you, man. Thank you much.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Miss Lopez? Jaylen Lopez?
officer that at It's very, very noisy. There's someone talking on the radio and it's very noisy and very disturbing. Thank you. All right, Ms. Lopez, I have quite a number of things here for you. I have charges from June 19th of last year for disorderly conduct, criminal damage, and criminal trespass. Looks like you were supposed to be in court on or about October the 29th. Charges from January 12th of last year for criminal trespass. Again, warrant was issued on October 29th because you didn't appear in court. Charges from November 26th of 2023 for criminal trespass and theft. Again, not shown up in court. Charges from March 7th of last year, criminal trespass, reckless burning, and failing to obey a police officer's orders. Charges from September 21st of last year for criminal trespass, failing to appear in court. Charges from August the 4th of last year, criminal damage, disorderly conduct, and theft. On these matters, we'll appoint Michael Vaughn to represent you. Your next court date will be tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning in the South Tucson City Court. Bond is $500 cash. No alcohol or drugs, no contact with alleged victims, and don't return to any of the locations. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. I live in a rural area, but since recently I'm back in town, so I live with my grandpa. It'll be much easier to get around.
Well, you haven't been getting around except to come in and pick up new charges. You've not made it to court dates, so.
You're right. I apologize.
Then I have charges from October 1st of 2024, charging you with criminal trespass at 214 East 24th and failing to appear in court. What is your current address?
1343 West Alameda.
West what?
Alameda.
Your next court date is going to be the 7th of August at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court. No alcohol, illegal drugs, no contact with victims in this matter. You're not to go back to 214 East 24th. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
That's key.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shayad, and you are?
Karina Espacio.
Ms. Salcedo, citation charging you with domestic violence disorderly conduct. Alleged occurred earlier today in the vicinity of what was your address?
My address?
I said it was your address.
Yeah.
Your next court date on this matter is going to be July the 18th at 10:30 in the morning in the Pima County Justice Court. Do you understand that you need to be present at that time?
Yes, I understand.
Conditions of relief, including the standard conditions of not violating the laws and not leaving the state of Arizona, is no contact with Andre Bencomo. You're not to go to his residence or workplace. You can go back once with law enforcement to get your personal belongings.
Okay.
And you need to be present in court on July the 18th at 10:30. If you need help in securing some temporary housing or something like that, I'd suggest you check with the transition center right outside the jail as you're released later this evening, and see
Okay.
if they can help you with some things. You may have contact with your mother, but again, not at the residence of Mr. Bencomo is living there.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I wanted to ask, because my workplace is where he works, so like, so I can't go to work.
Do you interact at work?
No, I never see him, but we just work at the same, like, we work at the casino, so
Do you work in different areas?
yeah.
And I'll modify it, say you're not to go to his residence or his area at your mutual workplace.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shayad, and you are?
Ray Alvarez.
Ms. Alvarez, citations here from February the 25th for criminal trespass at 638 West President, and then failing to appear in court. Because you have felony failure to appear warrant that's holding you, I will release you on these charges, but appoint the city public defenders to represent you, at least as long as you're in custody. There'll be a review hearing date on September the 25th at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you're out of custody, you need to appear. If you're in custody, then the public defender's office will inform the court of the status. You're not to have contact with the victims in this matter. You're not to go back to 638 West President. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Good evening, I'm Hood Fade, and you, sir, are
Luis Díaz.
citations charging you with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and domestic violence criminal trespass. Alleged occurred earlier this morning. I believe we do have at least one victim on the line. If you wish to be heard on conditions of release, not facts of the case, feel free to unmute yourself and indicate to me your request.
Hi, Your Honor. Yes, I'm Zadina Kubas, and I'm seeking, they told me to tell you that why I wouldn't want him to be released at the moment, because he needs to get medical attention or rehab. If I would have known, my whole family would have been here petitioning for this same, he has relapsed plenty of times. He's a danger to himself, and all I want is for him to get help. What else could I say? He's done this plenty of times to us, to the family. He lost his job. He's a great provider. He just lost his job on Monday. He works for Granite, a great company. He's one of the best workers. He just relapsed and fell through the hole again. And like I said, we're just seeking help for him. That's all. What else could I say about him? He's done plenty of scary things that puts himself in danger. And I say it again, I'm just seeking rehab for him to be ordered to go to rehab. He won't go. He will never go on his own. He will say, he'll promise us to us, and he just won't do it. What else could I say? Um, just please consider what I'm saying and help me help him. And he lost his family also. You know, he has little kids that witnessed so many other things, and you know, we don't want this to happen, something bad to happen to him anymore. And he can come back from this. He always does. He's done it before, and he comes back. He had been sober for 2.5 years and got himself a great job and everything. Just something happened and it switched. He something psychedelically is wrong with him, or like he likes psychedelic drugs or something like that. And he screams to us that he's God, and that he's gonna make this world a better place, and screams and just screams. And just I'm scared. I'm scared for him. And I'm scared for the rest of the family. We lost our parents 5 years ago, both of our parents. And I think he is in a deep depression that needs help. I see him there, and I see him really, really well. And I hope that he's listening to me and knows that I'm doing this for the good. I see your eyes, but okay. I think I've said enough. I might have repeated myself, but that's just because I'm really seeking help for him. And I don't want him to endanger any of us if he gets released. I know he will go back to the house where he was at. It's a vacant house right now at the moment. It's my house, it's my property. And since he got dropped out of work, fired from work, and his family told him to leave, he was, we said nothing about the incident. Okay, sorry.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. That's goddess,
These charges do not warrant him being held at this time. I understand your concerns, and what I would suggest you do is contact the Civil Division of the County Attorney's Office and ask them for guidance in filing what's called a Title 36 petition. That is,
Okay.
if the petition is granted, result in court order, evaluation, and treatment. But I can't transfer him to treatment. We don't have that ability at this time.
Okay. And you can't order something for him.
I can provide it.
Okay.
You'll see as you hear my order. All right.
Okay.
Next court date is going to be September the 5th at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Tucson City Court in front of Judge Cranshaw. Conditions of release include no alcoholic beverages or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no contact with Zadina or any tenants at 4024 East Santa Barbara. You're not to go back to within 3 blocks of 4024 East Santa Barbara or to Zarina's residence. I'm going to order you to engage in substance abuse and behavioral health assessment and recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes. I have all my stuffs at that house. I have backpacks full of stuff, clothing and
Okay. You can return once with law enforcement to get your personal belongings.
okay.
It has to be with law enforcement.
I will take that off.
All right. Thank you. If you need some help with housing or something, talk to the transition center on your way out of jail. Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Jorge Mejia. Sí.
Mr. Mejia, I have
Yes.
petition to revoke your probation,
Yes.
alleging that you failed to comply with your probation. Specifically, you failed to appear for hearings. Your next court date on this matter is going to be on July the 17th at 1:45 in the afternoon. Public Defender's Office is still appointed to represent you. Bond is $500. If you post the bond, you need to appear, but you also need to comply with your probation. All right, thank you. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Glad you hear me telling me that.
Mr. Simonet, citations charging you with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and theft. Your next court date is going to be August the 19th at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court. Do you understand that you need to be present at that time?
Yes.
You're not committing acts of domestic violence, which includes taking anything that belongs to your grandmother. Do you understand?
Okay. Yes, I understand. Sorry.
You're not to possess any tobacco or tobacco products. Do you understand that? So no cigarettes.
Yes.
And you need to see about getting a behavioral health assessment and any recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, I have cope. That's helping me with that.
Thank you for letting me know that. You need to comply with them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. It's not something that's not. You did a different minute entry than what I did.
Your Honor, Jill here. Nayo Zima Eli, he refused.
Who?
Nayo Zima.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Good evening. I'm Judge Hayden. You are?
Amanda Taylor.
Cares. Just specifically. Should I tell me that it's going to be in there? The rate if you run it, those things those slow dams. So the longer everything will do. Those are the carbon days. Also, those specifics all the way. Just don't hear. Oh, they get things.
Citations here charging you with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence assault, domestic violence criminal damage. Alleged occurred earlier today.
Okay, good figure. Yeah, you see this. Good luck with
Citations charging you with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence assault, domestic violence criminal damage. Alleged to have occurred earlier today. Will appoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Your next court date is going to be July the 16th. That's a week from today at 1:30 in the afternoon in Tucson City Court. If you're still in custody, you'll be seen on video. If you're out of custody, you need to appear. You'd have no contact with Christine. You're not to go near her residence, the incident location. Suggest do not discuss these matters with anyone except your attorney, and your bond is $1,500. Thank you, Ms. Taylor.
Oh, sorry. Judge, I just need a moment.
That's fine. I've got some paperwork to do.
All right, thank you, Judge.
I have entered a complaint charging you with 2 counts of domestic violence, child abuse, and 2 counts of domestic violence endangerment, alleged to have occurred on or about the 27th of June. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and that either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions.
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
Judge, we'd be asking for a much lower bond. She does have somewhere to stay other than her current residence. She can stay with her sister. She doesn't have any felony priors. She doesn't have an active NVCA flag, and she's only a 2 on both of the scales. So we ask that you impose a much lower bond than the $25,000.
Uh, Council, there appears to be some confusion as to when the PH date should be.
Should be, if she's held, it should be 10 days.
Which is a Saturday.
Then it goes to the Monday.
Okay. All right. All right. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be July 21st at 1:30 in the afternoon. Bond is $20,000. If you post the bond, you'll be in intrusion of pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons. There's to be no firearms in your residence or any vehicles where you're present. Beginning right now, you're not to have any contact with any of the alleged victims or any minors, except through DCS approval or through legal counsel. You're not to return to the incident locations, including 3325 South Wilmot. And you're also not to have any contact with Melvin Harrison except through legal counsel. Do you understand that?
I'll explain. Just do you understand?
Yes.
I tell her that.
Yes, I do.
I'm sure counsel understands why I've made that order. So there is no need to explain that on the record, and your attorney will explain that to you. And the fact that you don't understand it is needed. It's definitely needed. Thank you. Robert. So I understand why they ordered it. Yeah.
Taylor.
Her attorney knew well. Good evening. I'm Judge Shea, and you, sir, are.
My name is Sean Toby. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And did counsel wish me to waive reading on this?
Yes, Judge.
All right, we'll appoint the legal defender's office to represent you on these charges. Set a preliminary hearing date for July 21st at 1:30 in the afternoon. Did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Judge, just briefly, the state is concerned, given the information in the interim complaint, as well as noted, the mandatory minimums that come with a conviction. So the state would ask that you impose a high bond.
Judge, I understand the state's concerns. However, a $500,000 bond, I don't believe is necessary. It doesn't need to be that high. He doesn't have any felony priors. He's scoring a 1 on both the scales with no active NVCA flag. So I think while a bond is likely, something much less would still meet those concerns, given his limited, lack thereof, criminal history.
Bond will be $250,000, cash or secured. You'll be in a position of pretrial services if the bond is posted. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with any minors or your co-defendant except through legal counsel. You're not to leave the state of Arizona. If you're out of custody, your passport must be held either by your attorney or by pretrial services. You're not to use the internet. Do you understand that?
Speak.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Toby. And counsel, I've noted that the co-defendant was booked with first and last name reversed.
This one as a co-defendant?
Yes. I know it's not apparent by the interim complaint, but he does. That's why it's the legal defender's office. Yeah. Co-defendant was booked as last name Warren, first name Toby, as opposed to the other way around.
Okay, go ahead and see what the hell.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Eric Archibald.
Mr. Archibald. I have a warrant out of Pima County Superior Court charging you with domestic violence, aggravated assault, and aggravated domestic violence alleged occurred on May the 19th of this year. We'll appoint legal defender's office to represent you on these charges. Set an arraignment date of July 16th at 1:30. And did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions of release?
Anything further from the state, Judge?
Yes, Judge, we are asking for a lower bond than the 50,000. It looks like he's never been previously arrested on this matter. So not willingly trying not to appear. He does have support with his mother and housing with her if he was to be released. So for those reasons, we're asking for a lower.
His mother, who is the victim of multiple prior domestic violence charges.
I don't know, Judge.
That's all right. Bond will be $35,000. If you post the bond, you'll be distributed pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs. No acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons. No contact beginning right now with Jacqueline Collins. You don't go near her residence or workplace. Do you? And you need to comply with your terms of probation. Do you understand that?
I do.
And jail, just to confirm, there are no Spanish speakers of which you're aware. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Interpreter may be excused.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. This is Spanish interpreter. I accidentally got disconnected trying to connect my microphone. Can the Spanish interpreter be excused?
You may. In fact, I thought you heard me say, okay, the interpreter may be excused, and then you were gone, so it's fine.
No, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great night. Interpreter's disconnected.
Brandy.
Hello.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Brandy Barner.
Ms. Barner, I did have an interim complaint charging with possession of paraphernalia and possession or use of narcotics. State is dismissing those charges. That is a dismissal without prejudice, which means they may choose to refile them at a later court date. However, I do have 2 warrants out of Pima County Justice Court,
Right.
both for shoplifting. Looks like in both of them you were supposed to appear in court sometime in April.
Right.
What can I do to be sure that you're going to show up in court next time?
I just had a lot. I lost both my grandparents. So I just had a lot this year. My mom had a stroke. So I'll be there. I'll be there, I promise you.
I will give you another chance to appear on these matters.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're not to return to the stores involved. No alcohol or illegal drugs.
Right.
And you need to work on getting a substance abuse assessment and recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Okay. Yes.
In fact, as you leave the jail this evening, you'll see a blue line, painted line. that will direct
Okay.
you to a place called the Transition Center. That's a service center that can assist you in finding perhaps some temporary shelter, as well as direct you where you can go to address the substance abuse issue.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Your next court
Thank you
date
so much.
on both of these matters, and you need to appear, obviously, is July the 18th at 8:30 in the morning in the Pima County Justice Court. You
Okay.
understand?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Barner. And this one didn't carry over, so I got to do it all over again. Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Stephanie Batista.
Ms. Batista. I've got a couple of things here for you. I have an interim complaint charging you with possession of narcotic drugs. We'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. It appears that you may be eligible for screening and perhaps participation in a treatment program. It's a diversion program called STEP. Would require you to participate in a period of treatment designed to meet your needs. But if you successfully complete it, the charges will be dismissed before they're formally charged. Did you wish to participate, see about participation in that program?
Yes.
Time waived for preliminary hearing, counsel?
Yes.
Your next court date is going to be a week from today. That's Wednesday, the 16th at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Pima County Superior Court. That's the first of the STEPS hearings. You're going to be released to the custody of pretrial services, so stay in touch with them. Right now, your preliminary hearing date is set for August 22nd. At 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
All right. I also have misdemeanor charges. Charges for domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and domestic violence criminal damage. These are alleged occurred on October 25th. Your next court date on this matter is going to be August the 11th at 10 o'clock in the morning in the Tucson City Court. Different court, and your attorney does not represent you on this. Conditions of release include no acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with Isabel Lopez. You don't go to her residence or workplace. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
You need to comply with steps. Okay, thank you.
Alright, now let's see how Pima looks like. Gun is. So.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Andre Cañas.
Mr. Tanya. I have a warrant here. Charges from May 2nd, excuse me, of 2022 for violation of court order, domestic violence, 2 counts of domestic violence assault, 1 count of domestic violence tampering of a witness, and 1 count of domestic violence kidnapping. We'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Set an arraignment date for July 16th. That's a week from today at 1:30 in the afternoon. And did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
Judge, we'd be asking for a lower bond than the requested 25,000. This is an older case from 2022. It looks like he's never previously been arrested. He does have verified housing, employment, and support with his father. And it looks like he's currently being detained without bond on another older matter. But I think it's notable that he hasn't picked up any new offenses since when this is alleged to have occurred in 2022.
Would note that on the matter that he is being held on because he failed to appear, it is a domestic violence charge. Where he looks like he posted a $25,000 bond, originally used to pre-trial services, and then did not appear in court. Does not bode well for a lower bond. In fact, if anything, I would suggest that it speaks to a higher bond. Bond will be $25,000 cash. Pretrial services, if you post the bond, no contact with Ariana Acosta, you're not going near her residence or workplace, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, and no firearms or weapons. And I'd suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you.
Here.
Oh.
Good evening. I'm just saying, and you, sir, are
Jake, you.
Mr. Castillo. I had
That's right.
a complaint here charging with possession of narcotic and possession of paraphernalia. However, the state is dismissing these charges without prejudice, which means they may choose to refile them at a later court date.
Thank you.
At a later date, not court date.
Thank you.
However, I do have a whole stack of misdemeanors with failures to appear.
Okay, may I say something, Your Honor? With that said, as far as the state goes for dismissing my the charges on the narcotic things, I do plan on I'm going to treatment like here really soon. I'll be entering into a 90-day program. Just so it's known that it's not like we're not they dismiss the charges. I do recognize where I'm at right now, and I do realize that I need some help, and I'm gonna get that help at ASAP. I am enrolled with La Cordera, and it's like in Tucson, where you're able to help get help with drug stuff. So I plan on getting treatment.
All right, what I have here are charges from a week ago today, July the 2nd, for possession of paraphernalia and criminal trespass at 3175 North First. I also have charges from February the 10th for criminal trespass at 333 West Glen and failing to appear on February the 24th. Charges for shoplifting on May the 9th of this year, Circle K at Fort Lowell and Stone, failing to appear in court. And charges for disorderly conduct, assault, criminal trespass on May the 9th, along with failing to appear in court. I will give you a chance to appear. Your court date is going to be August the 8th at 9:30 in the morning in Tucson City Court in front of Judge Hale, who's usually in courtroom 11 on the 3rd floor. Do you understand you need to be present at that time?
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
No alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to go back to 3175 North First, to any Circle K. You're not to go back to 333 West Glen. You're not to have contact with the victims, and you're to get into substance abuse assessments and treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
Right? You stop at the transition center, they may be able to help you get that process started as well.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Higgins, what do you the pleasure of your presence this evening?
Your Honor, it is so good to see you.
as such as this is seeing you, but I'm enjoying appearing in front of you.
Right. So who are you appearing for?
I'm Mr. Adrien Tano, Tineo.
Okay. We haven't seen
Thank
him
you.
yet, so
I'll hold off, Judge. Thanks a lot.
okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Castillo.
Okay.
Yes.
Am I done? What's going on?
We've got 4 people before Mr. Teneo, and he's steps eligible.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Richard.
So.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Richard Torrey.
Mr. Corey. Initially, what I had here was an interim complaint charging you with possession of narcotics, possession of paraphernalia. The state is dismissing these charges at this time. They may, however, refile them at another time. So that substance abuse issue may be something you want to address.
I am addressing it already. I am with Primavera, and I have a liaison with the VA and CBI for getting me out. I'm working on it for about 3 months.
Okay. All right. I also have some old charges here that go back to April of 2021 for assault and disorderly conduct, 2 counts of each. Alleged victim in the city of Grant and Goyette. And then failing to appear in court. Next court date on this will be August 11th.
I'll make sure I'm there.
9:30 in the morning.
The city court?
Tucson City Court, and bring proof that you started that substance abuse treatment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Corey.
That's what Judge.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Reyes Corral.
Mr. Corral. I have an interim complaint charged with possession of dangerous drugs and possession of paraphernalia. Alleged occurred on or about the 18th of June. Mr. Terrace,
Yes, Judge.
did you want to take a look at this? I noticed your recommendation was based on potential no bond hold. This actually predates the other matter. by my
Judge, in that case, the state would be okay with pretrial services, given the nature of the charges.
Mr. Reyes, in this matter, you are again eligible to participate in the diversion program, or you may be eligible to participate in the diversion program called STEPS. It requires you to show up for your hearings, though. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Did you want to?
Yes.
All right, time waived for preliminary hearing, counsel?
Yes.
Then on this matter, you'll be released to the third-party custody of pretrial services. STEPS hearing is a week from today. That's next Wednesday at 9 in the morning in Pima County Superior Court. Be sure you make it.
Okay, I will.
No alcohol or illegal drugs. Preliminary hearing date right now is set for August the 22nd at 1:30. All right, thank you, Mr. Reyes.
Thank you.
Mr. Correct.
Robert?
Counsel, I'm slightly confused in this matter.
Why is that?
The narrative, the names in the name in the narrative, and the name according to pretrial services and the state's recommendation do not seem to match up. Unless what's in the narrative is a nickname.
So you're saying the interim complaint doesn't match? Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Okay, you see what I'm saying? Mr. Terrace,
Yes.
you see what I'm referring to?
Judge, I also noted that earlier. My original thought was that it was a nickname in the interim complaint, but I don't have any information on that.
Mr. Graff, can you enlighten us on that?
I'll give you.
I think so.
Judge, the information we have is the name is Carol Gibbs.
Okay. All right, Mr. Garner, I have an interim complaint here charging you with domestic violence, criminal damage, and domestic violence disorderly conduct. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. And did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
Judge, we'd be asking you release him to pretrial services. It looks like, as you noted, there is a mix-up between the interim complaint and who the victim is in pretrial services. So I'm not sure how to resolve that, but I don't think it's fair with that mix-up to hold him in custody when we're not even sure we're getting the correct victim input from the individual involved. So I'm asking that you release him to pretrial services. He'll get a hotel, live by himself while this case is pending. He doesn't have any felony or misdemeanor priors, and he is 68 years old with no priors. He doesn't have an active NBCA flag, and it looks like he does have support with his daughter, although she's in a different state. He does have family support.
The relationship is the same in both, despite the name. So, preliminary hearing date is going to be July 21st at 1:30. Bond is $7,500. If you post the bond, you'll be distributed to pretrial services. You'd have no alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons. You need to surrender any firearms to the Pima County Sheriff's Department upon release. You'd have no contact with Carol Gibbs or Molly or that individual's brother. You're not to return to the residence except with law enforcement to pick up your belongings. Behavioral health assessment and treatment is available in custody or under the direction of pretrial services if you are out of custody. Right? Thank you, Mr. Garner. You're not to leave the state of Arizona, and I'd suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney.
Gonzalez.
Hello.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Logan Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez. Interim complaint charging you with third-degree burglary and trafficking in stolen property alleged to occurred on the 31st of May. In jail, his probation placed a hold.
Checking. No.
We'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you on these matters, and did either counsel wish to be heard on?
Nothing from the state.
Judge, we're asking for a lower bond than the 10,000. This is considered a nonviolent offense. He is verified as a lifelong resident, and he's currently homeless. So, given his financial situation, we're asking that the bond be lowered.
All right, preliminary hearing date is going to be July 21st at 1:30. Bond is $5,000. If you post the bond, you'll be insured in pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, no contact with the alleged victims. You're not to enter the incident location or any pawn shops, and you need to comply with the terms of your probation. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Mr. Higgins.
I am here, Your Honor. Oh, that's not my client, though.
Oh. That's who was next up on my list.
Okay, there he is.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shea, and you, sir, are
Adrien Tano.
Mr. Taneo. I have an interim complaint charging you with possession of dangerous drugs and possession of paraphernalia. Mr. Higgins, are you doing a special notice or are you appearing?
No, I'm appearing generally, Judge. I just didn't have time to get in my notice of appearance.
Go back to the right.
So you'll file that tomorrow?
I will, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Taneo, it appears that you are eligible to be screened for and probably participate in a program called STEPS. STEPS is treatment of course of treatment designed to fit your needs that are done before formal charges are filed. And if you successfully complete the program, then the charges will be dismissed without ever being formally charged. Did you wish to participate in that program?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Higgins, time waived for preliminary hearing?
Absolutely, Judge.
So your next court hearing will be the first step hearing, which will be a week from today, July the 16th at 9 a.m. You must be present personally. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Preliminary hearing date will be set for August 22nd at 1:30. You're going to be released to the third-party custody of pretrial services, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and you need to stay in touch with pretrial services. Right? Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Higgins.
Thank you, Your Honor, for your time.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Marcos Wilkins.
Mr. Wilkins, interim complaint charging with theft of means of transportation and possession of paraphernalia. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges and advise our counsel wish to be heard on conditions.
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
Judge, we'd be asking for a lower bond than the 10,000, given the nature of the offense. Is non-violent. He doesn't have an active NBCA flag.
Preliminary hearings July 21st at 1:30. Bond will be $5,000. If you post the bond, you'll be distributing pretrial services, no alcohol, illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. You have no contact with the alleged victims in this matter. You're not to return to the incident locations, including the entire University of Arizona campus. Do you understand that?
Yes.
I also have some misdemeanor matters here for you. Charges from February 20th for remaining in the Santa Rita Park after hours, failing to appear in court. And I also have charges from March the 23rd for domestic violence assault, domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and possession of paraphernalia. Your next court date on these matters is going to be the 5th of September at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Tucson City Court. You will be released on these matters, but I will appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you because you are in custody. They may withdraw once you're out of custody. If you're still in custody on September the 5th, they will stay in touch with you and inform you of what's going on. If you're out of custody, you need to appear. Do you understand that? Mr. Wilkins?
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. I don't have anything else here.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good night.